G'day all and welcome back again to Dad vs. Son. Panzer Grenadier, the Kokoda Campaign Introductory Scenario 1. And we're about to go on with the 10:30 turn. The Australians have lost 4 steps, and the Japanese have lost 12 steps. So we've got 12 victory points for the Australians at the moment, and the 4 step losses plus 8 victory point hexes means that the Japanese have 12 victory points as well. We're at 0 difference still. Australian initiative is down to 1, Japanese initiative is down to 0. This is still moving along sort of historically true in that the Australians haven't been able to get anywhere close to here at the moment. If we look in the graveyard, things are crook for the Australians in that they've lost a sergeant, a lieutenant, and 1 full unit. But as you can see, the Japanese have lost 5 platoons of infantry and a engineer platoon, so it's pretty cruel for them. So we're about to go on, so let's go with it. Everybody in the Australians now are good. We've got the Japanese here. They've got infantry and engineer platoon with the lieutenant and the captain. Another captain with a demoralized infantry platoon and a disrupted lieutenant down here. So the one thing I don't want to do is lose this captain, because he is my highest ranking officer. And this is the highest ranking officer, and with initiative, with morale for the Japanese. So, yeah, the low morale on the Australian leaders of only 8 has really made life difficult. So, righto, initiative. A 1 plus 3 for the Australians is 4, and a 3 plus zip for the Japanese is a 3, which is 1 halved back up. It's 1 activation for the Australians. So what are we going to do? One activation. Well, let's see if we can bump this guy. I think we're just going to shoot. Why not? So again, we have 16 here. I don't want to move in there if I don't have to. So with 16, minus 1 for jungle. They're both on the same elevation, so that's not going to change anything. 16, minus 1 for jungle, plus 2 for adjacency gives us the 22 column. For a 7, which of course is going to be just a morale check, which is not probably going to do much. So he's a 10. Disrupted means he needs a 9 or less, and he gets it. So that was just a waste. So nothing's going to happen to him at the moment. Let's get this captain done. In fact, we're going to leave the captain at the moment. We're just going to do this young fella here. He's going to try and recover. So he is an 8, minus 1 is a 7, so he needs a 6 or less, and fails. So he just runs away for his full lot, and that's his side up there. We could run back this way. Does he have to run? No, he doesn't, because nobody's there. He's safe, so nothing happens to him. We're back to the Australians. Okay. we're going to activate the lieutenant. There's not much happening this time. He's going to just move up with these guys like that. He's done. I would have loved to have gone sort of 2-4 with him because he's got 4 movement points, and then follow up with these guys back up to with him. But if I did that, then this guy may just jump up there and I suppose he can't do any. So he can't. Well, he could come up and then put opportunity. Well, he couldn't put opportunity fire on either, could he? So we're going to do it. So we go 2, we go 4 to there, and we're done. So even if these guys move up to try and stimmy me, they're not going to be able to put any opportunity fire up there. What do we got in here? We've got an engineer and an infantry. It's not going to achieve anything. We're just going to try and do this disrupted lieutenant here. So 10, he wants a 9 or less. He gets it, and he is now back and happy. We go to the Australians. We'll take this mob here, and we're going to move them over to here with the lieutenant, and they're done, which leaves the Japanese. If we move up there, this bloke can bring opportunity fire on. We move up there, then they can't. Let's just move this lieutenant, maybe. No, well, he's the best one to help them. So we'll move this captain. He's simply going to come down. Both the captains in. That's good enough. Back to the Australians. These blokes can only move up here or back. They can't really do anything, so we're going to pass. I don't think there's much sense in doing anything else here. In fact, we will. This is the bestest captain. He's going to move back there like that. So, you know, we don't, what do they call that when you've lost your prime guy? Not beheading or whatever else they call it. Decapitation, I suppose. But it's not a catastrophic loss. This is the problem with this one and this one. I don't want to go there. So that's that. Back to the Australians. They can't really do anything. Japanese don't want to do anything. They can't dig in jungle or anything else. So we're going to call it quits there. We'll clear the markers. We'll go up to the 10:45 turn. And we roll up for initiative. The Australians got a 1 plus 6 is 7. The Japanese have a 5. So 7 to 5 is 2. Halved is 1. 1 activation for the Australians. Okay, 1 activation. To do. What about if we actually go in there? Nobody can do anything. That you can't do opportunity fire or anything. we go there, they can. We will. We're going to go in there. So let's go to the assault map. We're in there. Japanese are still in there, so they still hold it. These guys are now both spotted. Okay, now we go in and we assault. We have 16. He has nothing. So we have 16. The defender is in jungle. So that's -1, down to 11. Elevation's the same. Oh, I'm in the wrong one, sorry. Duh. No. -1 against jungle, yeah. So we go from the 13 down to the 9. All units of attacking side have higher morale. No, they don't. Side includes an under-moralized friendly leader. Yes, so we're back to the 13. It's nothing. So 13. And we get an 11 on the 13, which is a step loss. So this guy is not spotted anymore. He gets sent to the graveyard. That goes back. And get out of there. Go there. Go there. Go there. Sorry, I should have had a fire doobie on him. This deletes. Where's my Duva? It's not big. This is event markers. No, I don't want gameplay markers. There we go, and we go to the blue, and we put an Australian flag there. Okay, so going over here, the Japanese lose 1 victory point for losing the hex. They take another step loss, and we take 1 point for the step loss and 1 for the victory point hex, and we're now 3 ahead of them. And it's over to the Japanese. So this guy is going to try and recover again. So again, he's at 8, a 7, 6 or less. He gets a 6. He is now disrupted. We're back to the Australians. Do we move in? Or we move over? Come this way. Why not? We'll move and we'll go 2 to there. Cut them off from their base. Not that it really matters. Back to the Japanese. Now, what are they going to do? I think they need to simply consolidate. I don't think they've got any other choice. So they're going to move those guys. They're going to come all down into here with the captain. That gives them a captain, lieutenant, disrupted infantry platoon, infantry, and an engineer platoon. This guy are now spotted. And we go to the Australians. These guys can't do much. They can move to here, can't they? Because they're not getting any closer. So they will. Japanese. Look, I don't think there's much sense. We just all move into there, and that's it. And that's that. We'll clear markers. We'll go to the next turn, the 1100 turn, and we will roll for initiative. It's a 1 plus 5 for the Australians is 6, and a 6 for the Japanese. So it's equal. So we roll again. 1 plus 3 is 4 for the Australians. 4 for the Japanese is equal. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 minus 1 for the Japanese is 5. Halved is 2.5. Up is 3. 3. 3, 3, 3. Okay, we are going to move these guys. And we're going to go 1, 2 to there. And that is that. Our second will be here, and do we simply want to go in? Let's do it. Let's just do it. So we want the assault map. Oh no, because they haven't done anything. No, I don't want to do that, because they'll get first fire. We're just going to shoot. So again, we have 16. Let's bring this over. 16 minus 1 for the jungle, plus 2 for adjacency, and they've got 3 units in there now. Minus 1, plus 2 for adjacency, plus 1 for 3 combat units. We're on the 30 table, 30 column, and we get a 7. A 7. A morale check. Jeezy wheezy. Okay. So the captain 10 first passes. The captain 9 passes. The lieutenant 11 passes. The engineer is an 8, fails and is disrupted. The infantry platoon is an 8, passes, and the disrupted infantry platoon is an 8, so needs a 7 or less, passes. So didn't do a great deal at all. Okay, over to the Japanese. So the only thing they can do really is to fire back. So that's what they're going to do. Why is he going to move on? Because I'm an idiot. Oh, Jesus Christ. So that is all on fire. Okay, so they have disrupted units fire at half strength. So we have, oh, stop it. So this guy will fire for 2. This guy will fire for 1.5. This guy will fire for 4. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5. So they're on the 7 column. Again, -1 for jungle, +2 for adjacency, plus another 1 for having 3 units in the Australian line. So they're firing on the 16. They get an 8 on the 16, which is a morale check. The Australians are an 8 for the leader, passes. The first, all the infantry platoons and the machine gun are all 8s, so we'll start at the top. This guy failed by 2, so is disrupted. Next guy passes, and machine gun passes. So there is nothing for the now, so we can't move in. Moved, fired, nothing. Clear markers. Go up to the next turn, 11:15, and roll for initiative. Australians 1 + 4 is 5. Japanese are 4. So that's 1 halved is a half. Rounded up is 1. So we are going to mark him as a fire, him as a move, him as a fire, him as a fire, him as a move, and we're going to do his recovery first. So he is a 8 +1 for the captain, so he needs an 8 or less, and gets it, and is fine. And now we have 12 firepower into here. I lost it. You. Okay, so 12 firepower. So we're on the 11, down 1 for jungle, up 2 for adjacency, up 1 for 3 combat units in there. We're on the 22. We get an 8 on the 22, which is a morale check on the Japanese. Again, start at the top. We get a 10, passes. The lieutenant here is a, the second captain is a 9, passes. The lieutenant is an 11, passes. The engineer is disrupted, so that's a 8 is a 7 or less, passes. An 8 passes, and a 7 or less passes, and that's all done. So again, all these guys are going to do is shoot, and they'll shoot back into here again at 4, 5, 6, 7, down 1, up 2, up 3 on the 16. A 6 on the 16 is a morale check on the Australians again, so we have an 8. He passes. They're all 8s. First infantry passes. Second infantry passes. Machine gun passes. They're all done. We're back to the Australians, and the lieutenant will move into here. Markham has moved, digit ask. We take this away and put an Australian in there. Whoops, what did I do? Sorry. Just that away. And put an Australian flag in there. And that gives us -1 Japanese victory points, +1 Australian victory points. Back to the Japanese, nothing to do. Over to the Australians, nothing to do. Clear markers and roll up for the next turn, which is the 11:30 turn. Australia has 1 plus 1 is 2. The Japanese have 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. Halved is 1. They are going to do what? Okay. It doesn't really matter. We are going to just do the stack. And this is the only guy who will fire. Okay, so we're going to do the engineer first. He's going to try and recover. So that is a 8 disrupted, so he needs a 7 or less. Fails, but only by 2. But he's failed, and he becomes demoralized. The other bloke is 7 or less, passes, and is back. And Mr. Fireman for 4, he's going to fire into here to try and take out the captain and decapitate him. Okay, so they're on the 4 again, -1 for jungle, +2 for adjacency, +1 for 3 combat units is 11 column. A 10 on the 11 column is an M1. So the captain is an 8. Rolls an 8 + 1 is no good, and he is now disrupted. This infantry here, disrupted, he can still help, so this would be an 8, a 9. He gets a 7 + 1 is an 8, is good. 9 is a 9, +1 is 10, so he's failed and is disrupted, and a 9, he passes, and they are done. So I think what we'll do next is we will drop you. Do we go in there? We'll think about it. Let's do this first. Okay, so the captain will have to do a recovery. We could still fire, but I think I'd rather recover and recover there. That this guy will shoot and this guy will shoot. So we'll do the recovery first. The captain is an 8, so he needs a 7 or less. Passes. This guy is an 8, 9, so needs an 8 or less. Oh, and he is demoralized. Did not work well at all. Okay. Oh, captain's back, idiot. But he's demoralized. Righto, so we have 12 firepower. Is the 11, down 1, up 3 as per usual on the 22. A 6 on the 22 is an M1. Okay, so the captain is a 10. He gets an 8 + 1 is 9. The next captain is a 9. Gets a 9 + 1. So he is disrupted. The lieutenant is an 11. Gets a 5 + 1 is 6. Demoralized guy is a 8, a 7. So needs a 6 or less. And he takes a step loss. It's 14 step losses. Another victory point. This guy is full strength. Is an 8. Rolls a 7 + 1 is 8 is fine. And this guy is an 8. rolls a 6 plus 1 is 7 and is fine as well. Which leaves us with the Australians. So these guys here will fire or go in. They've got 4, 8 and a half. So they would be on the 5. Yeah, let's do it. Stuff it. Why not? You're all getting sick of watching me play this. Let's just bring that out. These guys will come over. These guys will come over. Salt hex goes down. Let's just sort them out. We've got lieutenant, 2 infantry and a machine gun. We've got captain. Ah, get away. The captain, disrupted captain, lieutenant, supposed to be spotted. 2 infantry platoons and a reduced engineer. Okay. So we are all assaulting. They've already activated, so there was no what are we talking about? First fire. Yeah, we did it. Okay, so we again have 16 on the assault chart, which gives us 13. Not uphill or anything. -1 for jungle. No. We have a leader, so we're back up to the 13 column. No, 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 no. So we're on the 13 column. We roll a 3, which is 1 step loss. Australians inflict 1. And the Japanese, as we said, have got 4, 8, and a little touch, which puts them on the 5. They are Japanese, which puts them on the 9. They have a leader, which puts them on the 13. And I think that's it. So they're on the 13 as well, and roll an 8, which is an M1. So, Jap M. Okay, so Australian-wise, they've got to take it on this guy, I believe, or this guy. So he takes a step loss, which means they all have to do an M2, but we put the step loss on first. So they've lost 15 steps, which gives us another victory point. Okay, M2s. Captain is at 10. Rolls a 3 plus 2 is 5. Captain with a 9 is a 8 or less. Rolls a 6 plus 2 is 8. Passes. The lieutenant is an 11. 8 plus 2 is 10 is good. This unit here is an 8. Rolls an 8 plus 2 and becomes demoralized. Disrupted, idiot. This guy is reduced, so he's still an 8. Rolls a 4 plus 2, he's fine. And demoralized is a 7, so 6 or less. And fails. He's rolled a 9, so that is a step loss. Okay, so he's not spotted anymore. He's not demoralized anymore. We can flip him over and we can get rid of his move. And he goes to the graveyard, which gives us another step loss, which gives us another victory point. And the Australians have to take an M1. So we have an 8 for the lieutenant. He rolls an 8 plus 1 is 9 and fails. Oops. And becomes disrupted. An 8. Oh, and he is demoralized. An 8. 4 plus 1 is 5. He's fine. And an 8. 7 plus 1 is 8. And he is fine as well. Okay. So that was the Australians done. Japanese are all done. We come back to the other Australians. They can't really do anything. And that is the end of that turn. We clear markers. We go up to the 11:45 turn. We roll. The Australians still have initiative 1. Plus 4 is 5. The Japanese have a 6, so the Japanese get to go first. Okay. This captain will attempt to fix himself up. He will try and fix himself up. These are assaults. May as well do it that way. Okay, so they're in to the assault. So they're going with 2.5. So I believe that they're on the 1 table. They're Japanese, and they've got a leader, undemoralized friendly leader. So they're on the 5 column. They get a 7 on the 5 column, which is nothing. And the Australians then return fire. So we have demoralized can defend at a quarter, so that's 1, 5, 13. So again, we're on the 13. We have an undemoralized friendly leader. So we go up 1, but we're in jungle. We go down 1. So we're on the 13. For a 10 is 1 step loss. It's got to go on for the highest morale again. So it's got to be this guy, I believe. So flip him. We'll send him to the graveyard. They've got another step loss. That's another victory point for the Australians. And everybody else has to take an M2. So we have a 10 here. He rolls 5 plus 2 is 7. We have a 9 here, so he needs an 8 or less. And rolls a 10 plus 2, and he is gone. No, he's not gone, you idiot. He is demoralized. And 11, 7 plus 2 is 9 is good. And this guy is an 8 disrupted, so 7 or less, rolls an 11 plus and is demoralized. Okay. So we're over to the Australians now, and we are going to, this guy and this guy are going to, sorry, yeah, I do it every time, are going to, this guy and this guy are going to move out of there. He's going to move to there with the lieutenant, which then deletes that, gives us another little flaggy, which is one less victory point there and one more victory point there, which leaves these two in there. Which we're not going to do anything with at the moment. Yes, we are. We're going to assault. They're assaulting for 12, which only gives them on the 9, -1 for in jungle, and that's about it, I think. And they get a 7 on the 9, which of course is a zip. We go to the Japanese, they're not doing anything, and we go to the captain here with the machine gun, who are both going to move, and they're going to move into the assault. Sorry, that should be marked as fire because they're moving into the assault. So they will assault at an 8. Which gives them a 5, -1 for jungle, +1 for a leader, back to the 5. Get a 6 on the 5 is a miss. Back to the Japanese, nothing happening. Back to the Australians, and this guy will try and recover. Here's an 8, a 7, 6 or less. Does it? He's back to disrupted, and that is that. And we'll go on to the last turn, 1200 hours. Dun, dun, dun. We'll clear the markers, and we'll roll up for initiative. 1 + 6 for the Australians is 7, and a 3 for the Japanese is a difference of 4, 2 activations for the Australians. So first activation will be these little fellas here, who will assault at 8, 16, 20. Can't quite get there. Where did my table go? There we go. Okay. So we're on the 18. We are down 1 for the jungle. We are up 1 for our leader. And that is it. We're on the 18 column for a 3, which is a 1-step loss. Which they have to take here. Gives us another step loss. Gives us another victory point. Then they have to do an M2. So they were demoralized for 4. So they were attacking for a 1. So I'm just going to put here Australia M2, because we've already taken the loss. They are going back for a 1. On the 1 column, they're -1 for jungle. They're +1 for Japanese is 2. Is back to the 1 column. And they've got an undemoralized leader. Yes. So they're at the 3 column. And that is a 8. On the 3 column is a nothing. Righto. So the captain is a 10. Rolls a 2 + 2 is 4. The captain is a 9 and 8. So wants a 7 or less. Rolls 5 + 2 is 7. So it's now disrupted. And 11. Rolls an 11 + 2 is 13. Becomes disrupted. And he is an 8, a 7, needs 6 or less. And rolls 9, which is 3 greater. So he is gone. Don't know why I was doing that. I wanted to do that, and that, and that, and that, and I think I've mixed up their step losses slightly. Graveyard. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Oh no, and the leader. Yes, they've lost a leader as well. Here you go. Oh, of course, up there, dickhead. 19, yes, and we've lost 4. Okay, so that's all that. That's done. We go to the Australians' turn. The lieutenant will activate and we'll go 2, 4, and take this hex, which gives us 1 victory point. And this guy here will move. He's not going any closer. Go into there and take that, which is another victory point. So the Japanese lose 2 more victory points. We gain 2 more victory points. And effectively, what else can happen? He can't move closer. He could move, couldn't he? He's demoralized. May not conduct anything. Has morale reduced 1. Must attempt to recover. Ah, yeah, can't move. That's right, dickhead. So that's it. We have finished. So we took everything except for the crossroad, but I think we we're going to get that anyway because, yeah, we're all up there. They're down here. I suppose they could move out and take this. Nobody's going to shoot at them. But we can shoot at them as they leave, so it's not going to really achieve anything. So they could try and take this hex here and this hex here for 2 more victory points, but it's not really going to achieve anything because that would only give them a maximum of 9, and we'd lose 1 because this hasn't been contested at all. So it would be sort of a maximum of 9 to 23. And we only needed 7 VP to beat them. Australia wins ahistorically. There you go. So we will call that one quits. When we come back again, we will play the second introductory scenario. Which is Pursuit, which is 12th of August 1942. So we'll see how that goes. Now, we will bring in Fog of War. And events. I pulled out my Desert Rats rules book. Oh, sorry, scenario book, and that's got the random events table in it. So we will be doing random events. I'll just leave that ready to go. And I hope you've enjoyed. I know some people don't particularly like the jungle warfare sort of ones because, you know, there's not lots of sweeping plains and steppes with tanks and planes and artillery and all that sort of stuff. But this is, yeah, you've got to be a little bit cagier, I think, in the jungle. Because it really is a interesting sort of setup, and trying to punch your way through the jungle and all the rest of it is a bit of a pain. So the other thing we could look at as well would be disorientation. So we may well bring that in as well, because that's a main thing to do with the jungle and so forth. So I hope you have enjoyed. Just to save this game as up until 1200, and I will see you back here ready to go again next time. Thanks very much for tuning in. Bye for now.